I know there's a lot of excitement for the election, and I want to talk today about the real challenges facing America because I don't know everything, but I know they go deeper than the political level. And I've experienced them, and I shouldn't have survived. Certainly shouldn't be able to tell the story and unbelievably bring remedies with how we restore the soul of America. See you on the other side. See, the real challenge with America is that we're not being honest in our systems, legal, health, political, economic, even, there are ways, don't know as much economically, but we're not being honest. And I developed this experience emanating from a divorce type situation 28 years ago. And I had been raised with a civil rights background, a sense of fairness, worked for very diverse populations, elected official, always, trying to doing the right thing. And I got thrust in this divorce system, and I saw at our foundation that there were corruptive elements at play, that we were not being honest in how we handle things, dealing with my own family, children, all kinds of things. And it's astonishing. We have a case in Massachusetts now, Karen Reed, and there's great dispute about it. And certainly it seems the majority of people believe that there's been a setup of some kind on the part of, police and the judicial system. I'm not on the jury, so I can't say for sure. But I do know, I don't know everything, but I do know that, dealing with the Massachusetts judicial system, and I believe this pertains to America, maybe Massachusetts were just more intense about it, that there are intensely corruptive elements in our legal system. So if America is not adhering to liberty and justice for all, and like lawyers and other lying about other people's children, imagine people lying about your children and, they don't have any interest in them and this kind of thing. So when I'm saying the very essence of America is cracked, like the Liberty Bill is cracked, but even deeper into our foundation, we're not honest as a society in our systems. And I think that's why a lot of people are at unrest, because it emanates, if we're not upholding, holding out liberty and justice for all, then, what are we doing? And I think it's why people are erratic, internally, why we have more challenges from outside the country, because if we're going to put out ideals like liberty and justice and fairness, we have to uphold those. Otherwise, we're acting hypocritically. And so when I look at the election, I see, Vice President Harris, former President Trump, it's like the focus needs to be, there's one message I want to give to people is having been through and survived the things that I've been through. These statements that, if this side wins or that we're going to lose this, the sky's going to fall. I've been through greater challenges, and it's not so. As long as we don't act totally crazy, the middle, there is a strength to America. There is a belief in the habits and patterns of everyday people. And so, we have to, I've developed this resilience. And when you go through great challenge, you discover the capacity to navigate and to thrive, survive and thrive even in the hardest of circumstances. So I don't fear America is going to fall apart, based on whether one side or the other wins the election. I want to raise the word commonality, that we don't necessarily have to get to unity all at once, because that means like almost everybody. But so I understand and respect that. And I do engender the word commonality. Commonality means there's things that we basically agree on. Like most people, vehemently rejected the assassination attempt on President Trump. Most people would believe commonality would suggest we want our bridges to stand, we want quality schools, although education itself can become controversial. But, there are things, what I've discovered, going through great challenge, one thing that adversity taught to me, a number of great values, but one was appreciation. You appreciate what we have. America in some ways like a basketball game. You can't have one side with 8 people on the team and on the court and the other side with 5. You have to have rules. You have to have an understanding. So as much as we think we're saving everything by the vehemence of our arguments, when we're one of 10, 20, 30, 40 million other people, whatever it be, I'm of the view that actual work induces more, engenders more change than just expressing your opinion, no matter how vehemently. So what I'm saying is I see these cracks, and I call upon, Kamala Harris. So, I saw referencing people in one of her first speeches, and that's great, to focus on people and what we're about, and that would need to flower. I'd love to see that blossom and flower. I don't know in our current political climate, and I'd love to see, and Donald Trump too, to recognize we're part of one America. With one party, each party having 45 or whatever percent of the vote, that doesn't give you the right to say the country's going to collapse if I don't get elected. Maybe if you had 90% of the vote, but that's not where we are. So I definitely call upon, I have this song that I produced a while ago. I'll play a little part here, about healing the soul of America. And I call upon, Kamala and Donald to engender that sense of the whole, the greater whole, that we are part of America. We're going to fight and work for her appropriately, policies, and we're still at the end of the day going to shake hands and say we're Americans. And that's not our climate. There are people say we have to hate one side or diminish another. And, being through what I've been through, A, you need appreciation. B, we have resilience as a country. And C, mostly we need purpose, because how we start to heal, really restore the American soul with what I've been through, is to develop our, the word I hold high is that word purpose. Okay, we have to, individuals, why, lovingly encourage you to take a look at our website for the training, coaching, and mediation we do. But, purpose is the battle armor with which you go out and fight. And purpose goes beyond opinion, okay? Purpose means you're actually rolling up the sleeves, you're working, and you're working appropriately, okay? Because real change comes, as much as I might disagree with parts of our government or this or that, or you could disagree, I'm still a believer, not only do I have to work for it, I have to do it appropriately, okay? I can't let anger in any way define what I would do. And I'm a person who's experienced intense injustice as it pertains to divorce and custody. And I brought things as far as the United States Supreme Court, and developed these deep understandings of something called the tort for the intentional infliction of emotional distress. These great things, and that can help the country. And so, and I've seen our courts act contrary to our principles of fairness and equality. And I still aim and act and work and act appropriately. It has to be done calmly in a way. Assertively, this is where we have to learn, pardon me, the difference between aggression and passivity. You've got to learn the key path is that assertive path. And this is what I again teach people. You can take a look at our website again. Healing the soul. I'm at a point, I think, because my story is so intense and I survived it and I thrive in ways because of it, that I have a rare perspective, not to immediately jump to one side or another, but to articulate a view of the greater America and to say, let's play by some rules. There is a commonality. There is a 78 or 80% of things we would agree on, while varying on the methods. And we have to start. It's the last thing I'll say is that I always say that our age of luxury is over. We can't just take irresponsible positions all over. We need healing. We need commonality. We can't just because some perspective, appeases or appeals to one side or the other. That's not good enough. It's got to appeal to one side or the other and work to heal America. That's what I brought out in my the New America video. It's got to work to appeal to one side or another and have that purpose of healing and restoring, healing America and restoring that American soul. That's a very diverse thing, and that's what we need to have.
To build, to love, to respect, we will.